Did you know that humans who committed to 4 thinking exercises for 10 minutes daily generated 43% more original solutions than the most advanced AI systems out there? Hello, I'm Phil McKinney, and welcome to my innovation studio. And welcome to part 3 of our series, Creative Thinking in the AI Age. This series is on strengthening your uniquely human creativity while using AI as a partner, not as a replacement. In part 1, we explored that concerning decline. We've seen 30% decline in creative thinking as our use of AI tools has increased. In part 2, we discovered how neuroplasticity, our brain's lifelong ability to rewire itself and reorganize, offers us a pathway to not just recover, but enhance our creative abilities. And today, I'm giving you something concrete and practical, a complete 10-minute creative thinking workout based on this cutting-edge neuroplasticity research. Now, this isn't just theory. It's a systematic approach to rebuilding the neural pathways essential for innovative thinking. What makes today's episode especially valuable is that these exercises directly target the 4 core domains of creative thinking that we identified in the last episode. First up, cognitive flexibility. It's your ability to switch between different thinking modes and consider multiple perspectives. Number 2, associative thinking. Your ability to connect seemingly unrelated concepts. 3, divergent thinking. Your ability to generate multiple solutions to open-ended problems. And 4, constraint-breaking. Your ability to identify and overcome hidden assumptions. Now, these aren't just abstract concepts. They're distinct neural networks in your brain that physically strengthen or weaken based on how you use them. Neuroscience has clearly mapped these networks using MRI studies. When we frequently outsource creative challenges to AI, these neural networks in our brain get less exercise and gradually atrophy. This atrophy directly affects not just our individual capabilities, but our collective ability to solve complex problems as a society. Think of these 4 domains as the core muscle group of creative thinking. Just as a neglected muscle weakens over time, these neural networks diminish when they are underutilized. And just as physical weakness limits our body's capabilities, creative atrophy limits our problem-solving potential, career advancement, and ability to address society's most pressing challenges. The research I shared last time showed that consistent practice leads to measurable changes. And it's across a very consistent timeline. When you start these exercises, within days, you have increased neural activity in the creative regions of your brain. After 2 weeks, noticeable improvement in your creative output. By 6 weeks, formation of new white pathways. That's the superhighway within your brain. And at 8 weeks, stable neural changes that maintain creative thinking capabilities even amid regular AI use. Now, this gives us a clear roadmap for strengthening our creative capabilities and commit to 8 weeks of practice with meaningful milestones along the way. But before we dive in, I want to emphasize something important. Consistency matters more than duration. Research shows that 10 minutes daily produces significantly better results than 70 minutes once a week. This aligns with neuroscientists call spaced practice, where shorter, regular sessions allows your brain to consolidate learning between sessions. Also, approach these exercises with playfulness rather than pressure. Neuroplasticity research shows that stress inhibits the very neural changes we're trying to promote, while curiosity and enjoyment actually accelerates them. So, you ready to begin? Now let's start with our first exercise. Exercise number 1, it's all about perspective shifting. Our first exercise targets cognitive flexibility. This is your ability to switch between different thinking modes and see situations from multiple perspectives. So, this exercise will activate your prefrontal cortex. That's the brain region responsible for cognitive flexibility. This region weakens with routine AI assistance as algorithms typically present optimized single perspectives rather than multiple viewpoints. Here's how the exercise is going to work. Choose any object in your environment. It could be a coffee mug, a book, or even your smartphone. And for 2 minutes, rapidly adopt different perspectives on this object. Consider it from, the perspective of a different profession, such as how would an engineer look at it? How would an artist look at it? How would a child look at it? How would a historian look at it? How about different time periods? How would someone 100 years ago view it? How would someone 100 years in the future look at it? Different scales. How would this appear to an ant or to a giant? Or different emotional states. How might someone feel joyful or anxious or curious perceive this object? The key is to shift rapidly between these perspectives rather than dwelling on any single viewpoint. Each shift creates neural firing patterns that strengthen your cognitive flexibility. So let me show you some examples with a coffee mug. As an engineer, I would notice the thermal properties, the handle design for ergonomics. As an archaeologist from the future, this might be an artifact revealing daily rituals of 21st century humans. To an ant, this could be a vast curved wall, perhaps offering shelter. To someone feeling anxious, might represent a moment of comforting routine on an uncertain day. And now it's your turn. Find an object near you right now. Pause this and spend 2 minutes shifting through different perspectives. So here you go. Go. So how was that? When you're done with each of these exercises, what I want you to do is take a deep breath. You've just activated some neural pathways associated, in this case, your cognitive flexibility. Now, what you'll notice with consistent practice is that this ability to shift perspectives begins extending to all areas of your thinking, helping you see multiple angles in business challenges, personal relationships, and creative projects. Let's hop on over to exercise 2, random word fusion. Our second exercise targets associative thinking, your ability to connect seemingly unrelated concepts to form novel ideas. So in this practice, activates your brain's default mode network. This network gets less exercise when we regularly use AI for creative solutions, but rebuilds with exercises that create unexpected connections. So here's your exercise. You'll need 3 random words. You can open a book to find 3 random pages and point to a word on each. You can use a random word generator on your phone or ask someone to give you 3 unrelated words. Now, for 2 minutes, you're going to create coherent concepts that combines all 3 words. This concept could be a new product or service, a plot for a story, a solution to a problem you're facing. So let me demonstrate with my 3 random words, which were mountain, keyboard, and breakfast. Mountain, keyboard, and breakfast. I might create a concept for, Summit Typing Cafe, a mountaintop co-working space that offers spectacular views of the Rocky Mountains and serves breakfast all day. Digital nomads can work at ergonomic keyboard stations while enjoying high-altitude inspiration and nourishing food. Or perhaps a new productivity app called Peak Breakfast that uses keyboard shortcuts to help you plan your most important tasks during your morning meal. The idea being that, like reaching a mountain summit, completing your most challenging tasks first thing gives you perspective for the rest of your day. Now, we're going to do this exercise for yourself. Generate 3 random words, pause this video, spend 2 minutes creating a concept that combines them. You ready? Go. Now, the magic of this exercise is that it forces your brain to create connections where none previously existed. Each time you practice, you're physically strengthening the neural pathways involved in associative thinking. With regular practice, you'll notice your ability to connect disparate ideas improving in all areas of your life, leading to more original solutions and creative insights. Let's go on over to exercise number 3, alternative uses. Our third exercise targets divergent thinking. This is your ability to generate multiple ideas, multiple solutions to open-ended problems. Now, this exercise stimulates your frontal and temporal lobes. These brain regions show increased connectivity after divergent thinking practice, but get less activation when we habitually ask AI to generate ideas for us. So here's how this exercise will work. Choose an everyday object. Classic examples include a brick, a paper clip, a rubber band, but any common object will work. For 2 minutes, list as many possible uses for this object as you can, aiming for quantity over quality. The goal is to push past obvious uses to increasingly creative, some would say crazy ones. And then challenge yourself to reach at least 10, but don't stop there. If the ideas keep flowing, keep going. So let me demonstrate this with a simple rubber band. So what are all the uses I can think of for a simple rubber band? Oh, you can hold papers together. I can launch small objects. I can create resistance for finger exercises. I can mark pages in a book. I can seal a plastic bag. I can make tiny basketball hoop with my fingers. I can create a musical instrument by stretching it over a box. I can use it as a hair tie. I can make a grip for slippery objects. I can create a boundary marker on a desk. I can use it as a reminder by wearing it on my wrist. I can make emergency suspenders. Now it's your turn. Choose an object, pause this video, and list as many uses as you can in 2 minutes. You ready? Go. Now, in this exercise, the first few uses typically come from memory, things you've seen before. But as you push beyond those obvious answers, different neural pathways get activated. Research shows that the most creative ideas emerge from the obvious ones are exhausted. So you got to get past those first 5, 10 ideas. The 11th idea, that 12th idea, the 15th idea, the 25th idea. When you push beyond the obvious, that is where the real breakthrough ideas will be setting. By generating many options, you train your brain to access deeper, more original ideas more rapidly. Now, with consistent practice, you'll notice yourself spontaneously generating more options in everyday solutions, whether they're designing products, solving problems, or making decisions. So let's hop over to our fourth and final exercise. The final exercise targets constraint-breaking. This is our ability to identify and overcome hidden assumptions limiting our thinking. This exercise activates your anterior cingulate cortex, the brain region that detects cognitive conflicts. This area receives less stimulation when we frequently use AI systems that operate within established parameters rather than questioning basic assumptions. AI is very good when given the constraint of getting to a set of possible answers. In this case, you need to challenge the assumptions. AI it has a very hard time, if not impossible, for it to identify basic assumptions. So here's the exercise. 1, choose any common product, service, or process. It could be a smartphone, a restaurant experience, or your morning routine. For 2 minutes, list all of the assumptions or rules that typically apply to this thing, this product, this service. These are the constraints that everyone takes for granted. For each assumption, ask yourself, what if the opposite were true? Or how could we eliminate this requirement completely? Now, let me demonstrate with a common product, let's say a refrigerator. So what are the assumptions about a refrigerator? They must be kept in the kitchen. They need electricity to function. They should be cold inside. They are box shaped. They store primarily food items. They must maintain a consistent temperature. Now, let's go through and reverse these. What if the refrigerators were distributed throughout the house? Didn't need to be there if I had one here in my studio. What if they required no electricity? Perhaps they use geothermal cooling or new kinds of materials. What if they were hot inside, therefore preserving food through different cooking methods? What if they weren't box shaped, perhaps conforming to room architecture? If I have rounded corners, do I have a rounded refrigerator? What if they store other things besides food? Specialized cooling for medications, for electronics. You look at how much temperature gaming computers generate. Maybe they create a special refrigerator just for cooling your gaming PC. And what if they had variable temperature zones that fluctuated intentionally? Now, it's your turn now. Choose a product or service, pause this video, spend 2 minutes listing and challenging its assumptions. You ready? Go. Now, this exercise reveals invisible constraints we place on our thinking without even realizing it. Each practice session strengthens your ability to identify and question assumptions, essential for breakthrough innovation. With consistent practice, you'll begin to questioning assumptions automatically in all kinds of contexts, finding original approaches others will often miss. Now that we've explored each exercise individually, let's discuss how to incorporate them into your routine and apply them to specific situations. Think of these 4 creative thinking domains like the major muscle groups in your body. Just as physical fitness requires working all muscle groups, not just your favorites, cognitive fitness demands exercising all 4 creative domains. Without this balance, your creative abilities will develop unevenly. We've all seen that bodybuilder with massive upper body development but skinny legs, what trainers call chicken leg syndrome. The same imbalance happens in creative thinking when we only exercise our preferred domains. You might excel at divergent thinking, generating lots of ideas, but struggle with constraint-breaking, questioning assumptions. The most effective approach for building complete creative fitness is to practice all 4 exercises in sequence, allocating 2 minutes to each with a brief transition between them. This provides balance, cross-training across all 4 creative thinking neural networks. I recommend starting your day with this workout, ideally before checking your email or even checking your social media. Research from the University of California shows that creative thinking is significantly higher in the morning before our brains become loaded with all kinds of external inputs and to-do lists and stresses and worries. However, these exercises are also incredibly versatile for specific situations. Consider bookmarking this video to quickly access the exact exercise you need for different challenges, such as before a brainstorming session, use exercise number 3, the alternative use exercise, to prime your brain for divergent thinking. Or when facing a stubborn problem, try exercise number 4, assumption reversal, to break through invisible barriers. Before important negotiations, try exercise 1, perspective shifting, helps you anticipate different viewpoints. When innovation feels stale, you're doing kind of the same thing, try exercise number 2, random word fusion, creates fresh connections. Each exercise serves as a targeted tool that you can deploy in specific professional and personal contexts. The timestamps in the video description make it easy to jump directly to the exercises you need in the moment. Now, just as physical training, these exercises might feel challenging at first. That's normal and actually a good sign. The neural equivalent of muscle soreness means you're creating productive disruption that leads to growth. And just as physical training requires progressive challenges to avoid plateaus, you should gradually increase the difficulty of these exercises by setting more ambitious targets or tighter time constraints. Also, like physical training, consistency trumps intensity. A daily 10-minute workout will produce far better results than an occasional hour-long session. Neuroscientists call this spaced practice. Shorter, frequent sessions allow your brain to consolidate learning between those workouts. Now, to track your progress, I suggest keeping a simple creativity journal. After each workout, just spend 30 seconds noting which exercise felt most challenging, any interesting ideas that emerged, how your thinking evolved during the workout. And over time, you'll see patterns. Exercises that initially felt difficult will become easier, and your idea generation becoming more fluid and original. Let me share how one innovation team I worked with that integrated these exercises into their process. Now, this team was developing new healthcare technologies and it hit a creative plateau, as every team, every innovator has. They began each day with this 10-minute workout, and then immediately applied the activated thinking patterns to their current challenges. Within 3 weeks, they reported two significant breakthroughs. First, the perspective shifting exercise helped them reimagine their user interface from the viewpoint of different stakeholders, leading to a design that accommodated both clinical and patient needs in ways that competitors had totally missed. Second, the assumption reversal exercise helped them question fundamental assumptions about data security, leading to a novel approach that provided better protection while actually improving system performance. The team leader described it as mental cross training that enhanced their collective intelligence beyond what AI tools alone could have contributed. Now, you can apply the same process to your challenges. Complete the appropriate exercise for your specific situation. Immediately afterward, spend 5 minutes applying that activated thinking pattern to your problem. Document any insights or novel approaches that emerge. Over time, you're going to develop what neuroscientists call trained intuition, generating creative insights without consciously applying the techniques. It's about creating muscle memory. So do the exercise, apply it immediately, and do that multiple times to the point where all of a sudden you just do the exercise in your head before you jump in to try to generate, let's say, divergent thinking ideas. But you're going to do that automatically through trained intuition or muscle memory. We've now completed our creative brain workout, 4 exercises that systematically strengthen the neural networks essential for innovative thinking. As we discussed in our previous episodes, the increasing integration of AI tools in your daily work has led to measurable challenges in how we approach creative challenges. But the science of neuroplasticity offers us a powerful counterbalance. The ability to deliberately strengthen our innovative thinking capabilities throughout our lives. This research applies to everyone, regardless of age or regardless of your background. So whether you're a student, professional, entrepreneur, or retiree, these exercises enhance creative capabilities through physical changes in your brain structure. Remember the key milestones we discussed. Within days, increased neural activity. Within 2 weeks, noticeable improvements. Within 6 weeks, formation of new neural pathways. And in 8 weeks, stable changes that will resist against regular AI use. The choice ultimately comes down to being intentionally about how we use technology. You can automate creative processes entirely with AI and potentially experience the gradual atrophy of these essential cognitive abilities. Or you can strategically partner with AI while deliberately strengthening your uniquely human capabilities that drive breakthrough innovation. Now, my hope is that you'll choose the latter path, not just for your individual benefit, but for our collective future. The challenges we face as a society, from climate change to healthcare to access to new energy sources, require precisely the kind of boundary breaking, assumption challenging thinking these exercises develop. So, next time, join me in for what I'm calling the AI creativity multiplier. It's the 5 steps to amplify your innovative thinking. And this is how to use AI to amplify your creativity rather than replace it. Now, I'll reveal some surprising creative handoff points where AI transforms from creativity killer to creative rocket fuel. You'll discover how to create AI prompts that break through creative barriers instead of building new barriers, turning your favorite AI tools into innovation accelerators unlike anything you have ever experienced. Now, if this episode gave you the exercises to strengthen your creative thinking, the next one will show you how to apply that strength in partnership with AI, creating results neither could have achieved alone. Now, until next time, I'm Phil McKinney, and I thank you for joining me in this age of artificial intelligence. Your creative brain remains your most valuable asset. Take 10 minutes to strengthen it today. Now, if you found value in today's video, please hit the like button, subscribe, so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. Your support means everything to this channel. And if you're passionate about innovation creativity, consider becoming a patron over on Patreon or a subscriber over on Substack. Links are in the bio below. As you also notice, I am wearing a black hat today. This is a new set of merchandise that we are making available on the channel. It is based on our the Think series. The design of it, for those of you who've been around for a while, may recognize this. This is for what we call box think. It's a thinking style that we have taught in previous episodes. I'll probably bring it back and do a more in-depth episode. But the concept being is that the most innovative teams within organizations know how to think both inside the box meaning in innovating with constraints, and then out of the box thinking without the constraints. You can't do one or the other. You have to do both. You have to think inside the box and think outside the box. So we've designed some hats. This one is actually the black on black, which I kind of like. It's a little more subtle. These ones are a little bit more standing out. You can get those by clicking in the links below or hopping on over to innovation.tools, which is our online store. That's also where you can find the killer question card deck. You can also pick up my book, the posters, all the other stuff. All the money we take in through the store is used to support the other team members. I take no money from this, but allows us to produce more content. And then anything left over, that's profit, we donate to charity. So support us, help us produce more content, become a Patreon, become a subscriber on Substack, and visit the store. So with that, hopefully you got a lot out of today. I really enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next week when we dig into the right way for using AI tools to supercharge your creativity. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.